When the Passport Bros started out, they were just an extension of the Black manosphere. So they operated with the exact framework that the community did. The only difference was that these men were willing to go overseas to pursue love interests, meaning that they would hardly ever date in the United States. And one of the criticisms of the Passport Bros was this.
A lot of guys in the United States are very adamant about not dating single mothers, and that's understandable.
No single moms. This was one of the biggest selling points because the Passport Bros felt that, listen, if I'm gonna be spending my money and dealing with women, I can go overseas, get women without kids who are feminine and fit, and I'm not gonna be dealing with these, 4s or 5s or 6s. Woo! As time went on, we started to see content creators sort of open up, to their audience and their lives about what was really going on. And these were the same guys that were saying, hey, they were not dealing with single moms at all. In fact, they were bragging about their new girlfriends.
But when we leave, we go overseas to try to find somebody, they get upset. Now, I don't get it. Look, you say you don't care. You say you don't care. That's one thing, right? You say you don't care. But yet you're making videos and then y'all calling me lame and corny and dusty and all this extra stuff. Well, here's the thing. Let's just go with your analogy there that I'm lame, corny and dusty and don't know. I'm still having success here. I still have more opportunities to find somebody.
So this guy is actually mocking the ladies. Like, listen, y'all say y'all didn't want me. I was dusty. I was down bad. I didn't have nothing to offer. So why y'all upset? Like, why are you women so mad at my videos, right? Now, I believe at the time, this particular dude is in Thailand. But watch what happens next.
You say you don't want me. I'm leaving. I left you alone. I said, you don't want me. I said, you know what? That's okay. I'll go find somebody elsewhere. Now I'm looking around. Now I know what y'all here for. Y'all here? Y'all want to meet Linda. Linda, come here. Come here, Linda. Make sure you button up. You dress right. Okay. This is Linda.
Look at that, man. Come on, bro. You went overseas to get a single mother that's in her mid-30s look like this. No disrespect to your woman, but she's a solid 3, man. Bro, if you came to Tampa, I could have got you someone look way better than her, man. I could have hooked you up, man. Come on, bro.
So he introduced his girlfriend. Come to find out, she's a single mom, and as you heard, her brother was basically calling her mid, and she don't look that cute. Now, again, I'm not the kind of person that wants to judge, on somebody's girlfriend's looks, but I mean, I see what he's saying. She's not really that tight, so you could have stayed here in America for that. Woo! He even said if you would have came out to Tampa Bay, I would have hooked you up. And again, this kind of goes against some of the framework that the manosphere was talking about in general, because the big issue that a lot of black men were having was all of these single moms and the problems that came with these single moms with dating them, not having enough time, having disrespectful kids, crazy baby daddies. So the reason why these men were going overseas were to find women that didn't have kids. And then ultimately, we started to see that the goalpost was being shifted.
Now, in the United States, you'll have a single mother who's at best maybe a 3, 4, or 5, and she's getting at dudes with unrealistic expectations and delusional demands. And then she's also bringing a shitty attitude, what I'm saying? And a bad personality, And she's not very respectful towards men,
So this guy is basically admitting guys do not like to deal with single moms. He's admitting it, ain't no doubt about it. What does he say next, though?
Now, here in Colombia, you'll have a single mother who's a 9 or a 10. And she doesn't have those delusional demands and unrealistic expectations. And she doesn't have a shitty attitude either. She has a much better personality. Um, she's friendly and feminine, and she's respectful of men. That's the way she was brought up, in a more traditional culture, So that's the big difference right there.
So he's given absolute framework as far as what is to be expected. He's now talking about the States. In the States, the problem with single moms are they're masculine according to him. They're not attractive. You're just spending your time, spending your money. You're not getting anything out of the deal. That's in America. But what about Colombia single moms? The single moms may have a child, but they're going to be a 9 or 10. They're going to be exceptionally beautiful. Okay. And this is the main part. And also that woman is going to be, nice, willing to listen, all of these things. So in other words, this brother, who I believe is an OG passport bro, is saying in America, there's no way I'm dealing with a single mom, but I will spend my money, come all the way overseas, and I will look at a Colombian, or in the case of the other brother, I will look at a Thai chick a lot differently than I will look at a single mom in my community, because a single mom in my community, I'm going to roast up. All right. So he also continues on with this.
And it relates to 3 things that a man has to have from a woman. I know it's very important for me to get these from a woman. And I can't get 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. I got to get all 3. And every man should. And that's respect, reverence, and appreciation. Those are 3 very important things that a man's got to get from a woman. And you're much more likely to get those 3 things from a woman here in Colombia than you are from a modern American woman.
He talks about the 3 things that a man must get from a woman: respect, reverence, and appreciation. So with this particular framework, you can infer that he's saying, if I can get respect, reverence, and appreciation from a single mom who is hot, let's say at 9 or 10, it would not be an issue dating single women or single mothers in the Black community. But I don't get that. In fact, if I were to deal with a single mom in the Black community, she's going to give me her ass to kiss. She's going to tell me I can't, discipline her kids or correct her children. If they make a mistake, I can't talk to them. I'm not their daddy, but I'm spending money on helping them go to football practice and cheerleading practice. And I'm not going to be getting any of these things. And I got to get all 3. I got to get respect. I got to get reverence. I have to have appreciation. And a woman must give those things to me. It is non-negotiable. So because women in America who may have a kid or who may not have a kid won't give you that, I'll stay in Colombia and I'll deal with a single mom if I have to, who will give me that. And basically this is saying like, hey, all right, the whole time you guys were saying that no single moms, but for the right chick, you'll deal with it. Woo! Then there was a brother that made this particular video who lives in the DR, and I want you to check it out.
Another thing that I've talked about on my YouTube channel and my videos is that if you are not the type of guy that is interested in dating women with children, Colombia may not be the country for you, because there is about 80% of the women here are single mothers. It sounds like an absurd statistic, but you will see it once you get here. Almost every other girl you meet has kids. And a big part of that is abortion wasn't legal until about a couple years ago here. Also, too, you could just say poor sex education. On top of that, it's the religious factor as well. A lot of women just don't believe in it, having abortions. And then on top of it, you add in the freaky factor. When I first started dating here, I noticed that hardly any women, when I would go to Smash, they were not asking, yeah, you got a condom? You tienes condones? Like nothing. Like it was just, if you wanted to hit raw, go ahead.
Oh, man.
So you add all these factors up and you can see, okay, this is why, so many women here are single mothers.
Now, this brother is called Passport Graffiti. He's a Black American brother. From what I understand, he lives in Colombia, and he was bringing out some real interesting points as to why he feels that this is occurring while there's so many single moms. He says 80% of women. And he said, number one, abortion just became legalized. Secondarily, these are women who don't, at least in his honest opinion, want to wear condoms all the time. So, and I understand that cultures are different, and you might say, hey, I have a woman that's a single mom, but she's respecting me, she's appreciating me, and she values me and all that stuff, right? But it seems like in the West or outside of the West, if you see a single mom that's not with the father, most men in general, especially Black American men, would couple that with, okay, this is a bad decision maker, this is a bad choice maker. And so if she lives in Colombia, I won't say it's a third world, but it's a developing nation. So there could not be a whole lot of opportunities out there. And so then she just has this child. And so now what you're doing is you're basically taking care of, a lady who even the man that she wanted to deal with wouldn't take care of her. And so this is what we're seeing with some of the brothers. I'm not going to say all of it, but I've seen in the past, you have certain Black men actually fight in the Facebook groups over chicks, over, 304s and prostitutes. And then you have guys who will get on Facebook and clown Black women all day and everything like that. And then they will be in a full relationship with somebody who is a single mom in another country. And my thing is, why go there? If you're going to go to Colombia, you're going to come to Brazil, you're going to come to South Africa, and all you're going to do is get with somebody that already has a kid already. I mean, if they're so beautiful and they look so great, like, why are you not swinging for the fence? And I get it. Like, the guy's an academic. He's trying to get his thing on and all of that. Like, and I get that, things are different. But ultimately, it just looks bad. I feel if you're a passport bro and you talked all this stuff about Black women and just to go overseas and get with a single mom, it really shows some of the insecurity. I mean, again, I understand that things can happen and whatever, but what about the other women in the dating market that y'all said y'all had access to? All right. Like I said, if she made a bad decision with somebody else, she most likely can make that bad decision with you. And then wanna know who looks bad? Yo ass does. Woo! So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of Celebrity Junk. Which is your you do turn the bell. We're out.